Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. I'm going to look at a couple of things today. I think just the economy. Some viewers have requested a few things, so I'm going to see what I can do about that. A couple people asked about William Barr and Mike Pompeo. I guess they were doing some crazy stuff a few weeks ago. And I'm just going to find general stuff and see what else is going on. Let's see. So first of all, what about the economy? So there is an initial boost that is gonna it's not exactly gonna bounce. Well, it is gonna bounce from its lowest point, but it will just kind of like be here. And from what I'm seeing, it's gonna be steady for a while. Now, that is lower than it was before. So I get that Trump's going to try to manipulate it and make it look better than it really is. But it's just going to be, we're going to get to some point and we're going to remain kind of steady for a while. But then it is going to go down again. I'm getting September, it will again start to decrease. Let's see. Anything more about that? Yeah, and it'll be a bounce. It'll be a drop, worse than before in September. And then well, actually, it looks like it's going to drop for a while. Yeah, prepare for September. Things do not look great after that. And also, don't presume just because things seem to be going okay for Trump that he's going to come out the winner at all. Nobody really believes that right now, and I don't believe that Trump will come out the winner. Right. Let's see. Yeah, they're kind of flashing images of me, of Trump, and the numbers. It's a little bit confusing. Let's take a look. Do you guys want to tell me something more, Spirit? I just get numbers changing rapidly. I'm not sure whether that's electoral college or numbers for the stock market. It's the numbers are going so rapidly. I can't even really make that much out of it, which means that it's more symbolic of changes or rapid changes. That's what I get, just rapid change. All right, so let's take a look at William Barr. If you guys will remember, that's something that I was way wrong on. I actually thought William Barr would be a decent character. If you go way back, you can maybe look up some videos. I saw William Barr in his office, and I saw Mueller getting really angry at him. But I also saw William Barr like sort of turning to the American flag. I kind of got that he, was going to be a patriotic. Well, in his own mind, he thinks that this is patriotism. He thinks that this top-down authority with a sort of king-like figure is what America's really about. So I just pointed out just to let you know, if you're learning to channel or anything like that, it's kind of good to know my mistakes, right? And sometimes it's my own emotion when I see the flag. I'm like, oh, of course it's going to be patriotic. Well, what does that mean in America right now to be patriotic? That's very different. So just an FYI there. Yeah, he's a real follower of authority. That's what I get, right? And maybe that's what I should have got a few months ago. Let's take a look though. What was Barr? Barr was doing apparently something weird with Pompeo a couple of weeks ago. This is a question from one of you out there. Let's see. Let's just look at Barr in general. What's he doing? Well, he's acting pretty assertively in this image. It's like a table, a circle of people, and he's like giving papers to all of them. Like, go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this. And you just get a very much of a feeling of him, he's a real slow speaker, but in this case, he seems quite agitated and a bit frantic. I think he's starting to read the writing on the wall, and he's starting to realize that he's in some kind of trouble. And it's so frantic. It's suicidal. It's like he's that he's having those kinds of serious questions. It's like I just keep seeing somebody commit suicide. This does not mean that he will do that. It just means like somebody harming themselves in a way, and that's just what I think he is doing. And maybe he's just realized that, okay, now he's sewing the wound. He's realizing that he did some really harmful stuff that he's going to get in trouble for. All right. Ooh, and he and Pompeo together, it's just like two vampires. It's two just terribly disgusting. Okay, so you guys, what are you got? What plan are you hatching up? Hmm. Even they are getting a little bit not so sure about Trump. Let's have a chat together. What are we gonna do to rescue the situation? Maybe we shouldn't do everything Trump says. That's the kind of feeling of the conversation that I see between the two of them. It's like, oh my God, you're just like kind of calmly drinking a cup of coffee and then going, oh, sort of feeling. What else are you guys doing? I think they actually they had a little plan that they were going to hatch up, and I think they just kind of decided the plan that we're going to hatch it's not a good. This is not a it's not a good move on their part, right? Trump wants it, but they're starting to have some remorse about this, some serious remorse, and they're sort of wondering, like in my mind, how to placate Trump but still save themselves. He's showing me his watch. Like, God, oh my God, when do we get out of here? Or it's like time's running out. Or yeah, they're like really getting a little bit worried. And I see some other kind of scandal. There's some kind of sex scandal around those guys. There's something to do. Barr did something wrong, and or he knows about some sex scandal, possibly on Trump's part, and that's a concern that he has. Like people are going to find out. Yeah, if there's some kind of cover up. He's like covering something up. There's some kind of cover up that they were part of. Let's see. It might have to do with Epstein. That's sort of where I go when I see this as Epstein. Yeah, I even get the feeling that Barr was covering for a couple of people. Right? Wow, and it's just the hypocrisy of these people. It's absolutely stunning. Pompeo was just a darkest force that you could imagine. Just the darkest force. Okay. Did we know what they were cooking up? Yeah, it was a very complicated plot to cover up and distract for Trump. So, Spirit, what else would be useful for people to know? People who are experiencing a lot of stress around Trump. What could they know? One thing that might be really helpful is just to see the United States as a sort of microcosm. Imagine like we're getting really close up to, what does grift and corruption actually look like, right? That is, a sort of small space in the universe that we're being compelled to look at. So if it is very difficult for you, keep in mind we're just being asked to look at what it is so that we recognize it in the future. It might be a little bit more bearable if you can see it for that as a sort of lesson. Trump's showing me like a whole book. It's like a whole book of lessons, right? It's like one after the other. Wow. Okay. Wow. Is there any other reason why you're showing me the book? He's just rapidly going from like one page to the next page to the next page. It's like he's trying to do one distraction after another distraction after another distraction, and he's just like leafing through the book trying to find a new page, but he just winds up on the same old pages in the book. One thing you might notice about Trump is that he really doesn't have much authority anymore. I mean, if William Barr is no longer willing to do his bidding, you haven't heard a word from the Republican senators, except maybe one, I guess, Getz um, did give him a little help. But, Getz immediately removed the tweet, which was calling for, abuse of those who are protesting. Gosh, wow. So anything else here? I'm just getting Trump will not be a particularly effective person. He's going to try and he's going to do scary things and say scary things, but it will not lead to much success because people are reading the writing on the wall. They don't want to be the one holding the bag after Trump's gone. Everybody's taken a step away from him and just letting him bluster. And if people don't follow his orders, he doesn't have any real power. So I'm seeing the military generals actually turning away from him. I think he has made the military significantly angry. They are very angry. They're really upset. He hasn't expanded American power or maintained it in ways that they believe were correct. They're turning their backs on him, and I want to say this is a good thing. I mean, I never believed that Trump would take over the military, but this just looks like if he gave a command, go fire on the citizenry, they would not follow it. They would actually go, sure, and then they'd go talk to the senators and they'd say, tell this guy to knock it off. They're not going to follow those, though. They've already read the writing on the walls, and they don't respect Trump. It's one thing that's really great to see is if you pay attention to the protests that are going on right now. First of all, notice that they are getting pretty well organized, and they're starting to focus on people who are coming in and sort of infiltrating and pretending to be members of the protests so that they can incite more violence. People are starting to point them out. And also you'll notice, this isn't happening everywhere, but there are significant groups of police people who are very sympathetic. They don't want to work with others that make them look bad. They don't want to, they don't think it's right that the police person did what he did to Floyd. They don't think that he should have done that, and they're embarrassed. They're having to justify their jobs, and so they're starting to take the knee. They're starting to join them. This is very, very important. This is a very conservative population of people, and they are not backing Trump up. Police chiefs have told Trump to stop talking. Governors are starting to tell Trump to keep quiet and releasing the recordings. This is very important. Don't underestimate what this means. It's very, very significant because there's people who are a little bit more in the centrist and, kind of even people to the right, but that still haven't been totally indoctrinated, who have to work as a police person. They don't want to work in circumstances where everybody hates them and where they're part of an evil force. They don't want to be that either. So they're starting to, if they were given a choice right now, whether to shoot on the people or shoot at Trump, they would not be shooting at the people. There are exceptions to this. Keep in mind when you get in those situations, those scenes, when you get to some level of fear, people act in ways that they would never act on their own. So keep that in mind. Do go out there and keep calm, and don't antagonize anyone, except insofar as you want the government to do something. Remember that each of those people are individuals, whether there be police people or people who are protesting. They are all individual people, and they should each be treated individually, right? This, again, is very important because the tide is turning against Trump in a bigger way than it was a couple of months ago. Is there anything else that more? No, I'm getting no more. That's all we need to know. Thanks for watching.